Hey, sis. Okay, so have you ever have you ever been to an event where, as a woman, a mom, a single mom, you felt like, am I gonna fit in? How is this gonna work? Can I be my authentic, true self? How will I be perceived? Okay, so let me just preface this whole entire video with this, okay? You are not broken. You're not failing, and you are not crazy, okay? You are that bad ish. You're a mom trying to do her very best. You're keeping all those puzzle pieces together, okay? So, you are more than enough. Baby, everything you do is more than enough, okay? So, let me tell you this. I have been looking for a parental support group. Pardon me, allergies are ridiculous in Texas right now. um I did take some allergy medicine, so I hope that it will help clear it up. But a part of me leaving tonight's event was because my eyes just got completely scratchy, nose was itchy and running, and it was just bad. And we were sitting in an enclosed patio, but for 2 hours it just didn't work. It's the same feeling I get when I'm around cats. I have nothing against cats, except that I get allergies after an extensive amount of time. I forgot how much that feels so uncomfortable until tonight. So, if you see me dab my nose or rub my eyes or something, it's because of that. Okay, so I want to get through this before the allergies kick in at all. But I got invited to a a mom night out, essentially. They're all moms from my two eldest children's school. Um, I felt so honored to be invited to the group because I only knew one person in the group. And that let me know that she had faith in me, that I was going to mesh with everybody else just fine. She knows my personality well enough to know that I am an embracer of people. Okay. So the Lizzie Farmer in me lives. Okay. I love people. People tend to gravitate to me in a positive way. Um, and I love that Holy Spirit has blessed me with that. So, this wonderful, wonderful spirit and mom invited me to this event on tonight. And I got to interact with these ladies and talk to these women and hear their struggles with the school where our children attend, hear the joys that they've seen in their children's growth being there, um, and also just get to hear about motherhood from different angles and get to talk about my experiences as a teacher and how I get partly where the teachers are coming from, but I also understand that things could be different. Um, so it was very enlightening, and even got some motherhood parenting tips, because although there's a mother there who has an elementary school age child, like the rest of us at the table, she also has children in their 20s, like between 23 and 26. So she's been down this road, honey. And I would love to get to know her more, because the way she shared her wisdom was not in any way, you're doing wrong, you need to do better, your kid needs, you should. This could have been done different. Like, that was not the way that she approached anything, the way that she said it. And her demeanor was so elegant, in the way that she shared her mothering expertise. Um, and it made me realize that although I was the only, out of 7 women at the table, the only single mother, who is navigating motherhood with 3 children under the age of 9 very differently than anybody else at that table. There are women who often feel like single moms, like I did when I was a married mom, you know? Um, and that's rough, because you feel like, I got in this to have support. I should have some sort of support. And it was almost in the emotion, in the way that I feel emotion, it was almost gut wrenching for me to hear the mom who I thought was a single mom, the way she spoke about her travels and her past travels, her upcoming travels. I thought she was a single mom. And she explained later that she is married, but because of his struggles with mental health, she often has to parent alone. She doesn't always have the support from him. And that's gut wrenching for me, because if you know anything about me, emotional intelligence, mental health are huge aspects of life. If those things are failing in any way, or they need some sort of balance, or they need some sort of medical support, or therapeutic support, psychological support, and they're not able to get them, then people struggle, and that's hard. So hard, y'all. So I'm so glad that this mom has the strength that she does to endure, but she also has a support system. Her parents, they don't come to the United States often, but at least they're active in the sense that they're willing to give her a break for a few weeks this summer. So, as I think about her, I think about all of us that mother period. It ebbs and flows. Sometimes there's these emotional highs of joy, and you're just so excited, and oh my gosh, my wonderful children, look what they've done. I love them so much, and they're so great. And other times you're just like, I don't know what to do. How did that fail? What is going on? I don't know how to help you, but I want to help you, but you're not telling me how to help you, and you don't know how to tell me how to help you, and I get you therapy, and that's not really seeming like it's doing anything. All of these things came up at the table. And it's real, y'all. It is real life. It's real life, okay? And the majority of this table were Black moms, okay? The other portion of the table were two different ethnicities of Asian and a Caucasian mom. And to hear that all of us resonate with something in motherhood similarly was wonderful, because that means that life is life is life. And then there are other things that others of us are dealing with because of our marital status, or because of lack of support in the home, or the joy of having a child that's deeply connected with their mother, and so they have a special bond. Also hearing about the disciplinarian. But in a gentle, motherly way. And I thought that was powerful. And you can guess, that was from the mother who has had the older children. And to hear all of these things, being the person that I am, I'm taking them all in to come and share with you that there is such a way that we can care for our children. We can see them shine and thrive, but we can also stay mentally healthy and mentally balanced. And that was a beautiful thing to come up at the table. Before we were even seated, a mom walked in and she said, "This is great. I never would have gotten to do this if you haven't called me. Please just call me, because now my son and my husband, they get to have like a boy day and I get to come out." Yes! Yes and yes. And honey, even if you don't have a group, or you don't have somebody to invite you to a group, step out on a limb and create your own, please. The support system is so important. Like, I'm getting choked up. You'll get to know when I get choked up in this area, it is like Holy Spirit speaking to me. It is, the emotions are coming together. Everything is resonating. It's all like coming to mesh and glue together. And I have to share with you, you need a support system. Point blank, period. You need a support system that has the same female parts, the same estrogen that flows through you, flows through her. She knows you, she gets you, she doesn't judge you. She doesn't have such high levels of testosterone that she's not ever going to think from a female perspective. Let me just give you an example. Let's go off for just 1 second. One of the ladies who I sat next to is a nurse. And I had the conversation with her that post the car accident that I endured earlier this year, there's been some back pain. I've been approached to be able to get a particular type of injection. I went to my male chiropractor. Pardon me. First, I asked the surgeon who was going to do the injection. Of course, you know, blah, 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 blah. Not a big deal. We do these all the time. We do these all the time. We do these all the time. I'm not the one. I'm not the patient for you to tell me we do it all the time and that's supposed to make me feel comfortable. Negro, I don't care. Like, I need something that's going to back me up the way I look. People who look like me, the DNA that flows through me, give me the stats, okay? I need to know, how is that going to play out for me, okay? Now, the thing about medicine, especially pharmaceuticals, is it's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all, but it's definitely not specified just for your DNA, okay? So, he kind of fluffed over it, right? I took it to another male doctor, and he did some research, and he said, you know, over time, and he told me at 2 different visits, I just think it's not that big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal. You get the injection, like, it's not going to last forever, but it'll take away some of that pain and inflammation, right? So when the care does end with me, then you won't feel that that pain anymore. Hopefully, it could come back. You might need chiro later down the time frame, but at least it'll kind of sustain you for a while. I took it to my PCP, female doctor. She says, although there are minor implications for you to get high blood pressure, and it doesn't show that this medication in particular that she was speaking of is helpful for weight. Okay? Because my concerns were, being the age that I am, down the road, there's all types of hormonal changes that could possibly happen. So, what do you think? And she said, well, there's a minor chance for these 2 things, but let me just tell you that there have been some cases of it causing high blood pressure and other cases where it's not very great for weight. Okay? Woman to woman, you know what that means. I shared these things with the nurse that I sat next to today. And she said, you know, we have some people who come in every year who get these shots. Woman to woman. She says, sometimes you see people who get the excess hump in the back. And then she said, and then there are people who do get the excessive midsection. But she said, if it's just a one-off for you, it may not be that bad. But if you're somebody who's looking for every year type of a thing, then you may have some adverse reactions. And she said steroids aren't meant for every year. For like, they're not meant for ongoing use type of thing. Okay. So, do you hear the difference in what the men said versus what the women said? This is not a bash on any gender at all. But a man gets a man gets a man, a woman gets a woman gets a woman. They're going to craft their response towards what they know may be on my mind. If I don't have the same amount of testosterone flowing through my body as a man does, I'm not thinking about the things that he's thinking of. If he doesn't have the same type of estrogen flowing through his body that I do. He's not Google searching and ChatGPT searching the type of stuff I'm thinking about as I approach the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s in my life as a woman that is socialized to hear about menopause and socialized to hear about menstrual cycles and socialized to see these commercials about different things to do with weight loss and all that type of stuff. Our minds are geared differently, right? So, sitting at this table, pardon me, it was so very clear that our minds are just geared differently. Although the mom sitting across from me is a married mom, unfortunately, she's in a relationship and a marriage where mental health plays a huge part. So a lot of times she is a single mom. She and I resonated, boom, right off the bat. Right off the bat. We got each other. Like, we got each other, right? Now, the other moms, I could resonate with them too, because that is just who I was born and bred by. Like, we just get with people, right? So I could get with the mom over here who's probably got a great marriage, one kid. This mom, great marriage. I think she has 2 kids. Great mom, great marriage over here, 1 kid. Great mom, not great support system, 2 children. Great mom, great marriage, 2 children. Great mom, great marriage, 4 children. Okay? Me, formerly married, single mom, 3 children. There were times sitting at that table that I was so glad to be in a circle of just women. Because there are things that we think of as mothers that some dads may think of, but honestly, I really, really deeply feel and believe that as mothers, there are certain things that we're looking for in a school, in a teacher, in the administration, golly, in the building, in the carpool line, like the extracurricular activities, the PTO, all of that. We're looking at all of those things. Why? Because we're spaghetti. Have you read that book? The Spaghetti and Waffles? I forget what it's called right now, but kudos to those authors. Spaghetti and Waffles. Men are, in their book, they say men are like the waffles. They can put every little thought into a square. They don't move to the next square until they have completed this little square. Whereas women, it's like noodle, sauce, meat, noodle, meat. It's like everything comes together all the time, every day. That is how we are. So when I heard that mom that has a lack of support system at her home, and she feels like she's operating like a single mother, she said she had mom guilt, y'all. She said he made me, her son, made me feel so bad. Like I was doing something wrong by asking him to fold his clothes. He made me feel so bad by these things that he would say because she took away his toys because he wasn't doing what he was asked to do repeatedly. And I said, girl, have you brought it up in his therapy session or your therapy session? And she said, yeah. And I feel like I had to pull the therapist aside one day and be like, look, like I'm here for support. I'm here for help. And y'all are playing games, but what's really happening here? What kind of results should I be seeing right now? There are things that I felt like at that school. Like, why are these parents so happy about this school? This school seems like there are some things that really need work. It really needs organization. Like, you don't have a syllabus? What? A parent needs to know what we need to work on with our kids at home. I was saying things that my kid works on a regular basis on the laptop here at home, and other moms at the table tonight were like, what is that? What? And I don't think these are absent parents. They are involved. They are emailing the teacher. They are talking to the principal. They are up there at the school. They are invested in their kids' lives. But it's like nobody has time, especially when you have more than one, especially when you have more than 2 or 3 kids, to go to every school's app, read every school's email, and stay on top of it. Like, that would be a full-time job. Maybe a part-time, depending on how many schools you got to deal with. But that's a lot. Thank goodness that my 4-year-old school sends stuff home. So at least when I open up her backpack, I can see it. Because I'll miss an email. I'm not sitting looking for your email all day. Like, there's a whole sphere of life that I have to coordinate aside from reading school emails. So when that woman sat there and said she felt so bad and he makes her feel so bad, and I'm sitting there thinking, I feel bad. Like, I don't love everything about this school. Sis, it's okay. She's not broken. She is momming hard. I'm not broken. I am momming hard. Sis, you're not broken. Because if you care for your kids, you momming hard. Those babies are loved. They are clothed. They are fed. They have you there every day. Ask them a few times a week. How are you doing? What can we do to have more fun together? Just stop and get outside of your box for a minute and think about what you would have loved to have heard from your parents growing up. Just try it. Try it once a month. Go to once a week. Increase it a little more. See what changes with your children, but know that it ain't nothing wrong with you. It ain't nothing wrong with you. And like one of the moms said, the one that's got the 3 older kids in their 20s, she said kids can be manipulative. So don't feel bad. Don't let them let you feel bad. I hear people that are adults say it all the time. They had no idea what their single mom was going through. They had no idea the weight that she carried every day. Because when you don't have that partnership, you don't have that like-mindedness, that God alignment, that seamlessness of flow and communication, it's like getting knocked down every turn you make. Oh, I get it, sis. I get it. Y'all, pardon me. I probably should wrap up because this is getting a little bit crazy over here. But sis, you are so whole. You are not broken. And you are doing a phenomenal job. I need you to know that. You are doing a phenomenal job. And no matter what, that mom sitting next to me tonight said something about kids are resilient. They're okay. They'll be okay. They'll be just fine. They need structure. And they will love you for it. And we know that. We know that. They need structure. They'll love you for it. Just know that you got this. We're in this together. Big hugs. See you next time.